All right, welcome back. And once again, phone lines are open 879-1231. And maybe also, how's the first days of school? If you want to talk about that, I'm curious to hear. If you're having a good time back at school, some of the kids, or if some of the parents are glad that some of the kids are back in school. So you might want to call up and talk about that. What I want to do, and this is only to remind people that hurricanes have been an integral part of HTV's coverage for many, many years. And since 1985, my first hurricane that actually cut my teeth on was Hurricane Juan. And we all know it sat over Terrebonne Parish and pumped a lot of water over this parish. And then, we've had many along the way. Hurricane Andrew, still to me, had the strongest winds. And Morgan City, when it hit Morgan City, and we went to Morgan City when daylight came up, I can remember telling the crew it just looked like a bomb went off in parts of Morgan City. And then they later upgraded Hurricane Andrew to a 4 because the buoys had broken, but the buoys had readings on it of, I think, 160 miles per hour. I could stand corrected on that. But anyway, the buoys showed that this storm was a pretty ferocious one as it skirted Terrebonne Parish, but the winds in Terrebonne were still very strong, because I can recall being pushed in a sheriff's unit across Linwood Park Shopping Center in the car with a camera person. So if you talk to a lot of old timers, there's always the argument which one was stronger, Betsy or Hurricane Andrew. But of course, as the later years came on, Gustav came right over us here and knocked a couple of our towers down from Morgan City to Houma. So there's always storms that get your attention. The one that we all watched and wondered how close it would come to our viewing area was Hurricane Katrina, which was 6 years ago to this day. Of course, Lafourche got a little stronger winds because of its location to the eye, but Terrebonne, we experienced some pretty good winds too. Not nearly what they experienced east of New Orleans and New Orleans East and Biloxi in those areas. But we thought for a little while tonight, then I'll come back to the phone lines, that we would show you some of our coverage just to remind you all and to remind us that we always have to be vigilant when these storms are coming in. So we'll roll some of HTV's coverage in. Folks, this is incredible. The winds have really been down here in Terrebonne Parish. I'm keeping my eye on these trees right here. Jason, if you could move up on the tree. Be careful. We don't want anybody getting hurt here. But it is coming, Climate. It is coming right here in South Louisiana. Look at it coming now. You just got to be careful. You got to look all around you, because you never know exactly what's going to be falling upon you. But folks, look at the ferocity of the wind straight out of the north. Now, can you imagine if this storm would have been right upon us, if the eye wall would have been upon us? It would have been incredible to think of how much force this storm has. But look at it. Look at the wind. I can see the rain just coming right off the terrain over here. It's an incredible sight. It is just a constant, steady wind. Ready? Folks, this is some serious hurricane force wind. If you can see, hand right here, Jason, if you can see these cypress trees right here, they could go at any time. If you could come back this way, trees behind me are like toothpicks. At any moment they could go down. It is hard to imagine the force of the wind coming in. It's starting to die down now. So we might, but it dies down, then it comes again.
dies down, then it comes again. It gets your adrenaline going because here we go again. You got to watch all around you to make sure that nothing is flying. Jason, I'm watching you back. If I tell you to get down, you get down. But just to give the folks an idea of what is happening here, the wind is really, really steady now. And if we could pan here, you could tell oak tree limbs are starting to fall. And trust me, folks, there's going to be some serious tree damage. But I hate to, here we go again, Jason. I would hate to be to the east of this storm because this is incredible. I would hate to be in Lafourche Parish. I would hate to be in New Orleans because this is a monster of a storm.
All right, there you can see some of the winds. Probably a little slimmer back in those days, so it's harder to stay up straight. But anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll show you some more of that footage. And just when we thought that wind was dying down, and look, trust me, you think those winds were strong. I'm telling you, Hurricane Andrew, when it hit Terrebonne Parish, and Gustav was a pretty good one too, with some strong winds. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go back to the phone line, and we'll cue up some tape where we were by Lake Boudreaux. And that was on the tail end of it when we thought it was just about over and the winds kicked up again. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back.